Stop saving money. Seriously, just stop. Take that piggy bank, stare into its cold, judgmental ceramic eyes, and tell it, you're useless. Because saving money in 2026 is like training for the Olympics and dial-up internet. Impressive effort, absolutely zero relevance. Hey guys, before we ruin everything your parents told you about being financially responsible, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell me in the comments which totally terrible piece of life advice you want me to destroy next. Alright, let's talk about how saving money went from being smart to being borderline delusional. You remember when adults used to say, save your pennies, they'll add up? Yeah, that worked when houses cost 4 digits, not 7. Saving pennies today just means you'll have enough for a parking meter downtown for 12 minutes. It's like the world moved on, but the advice didn't get the memo. Inflation's rising, wages are crawling, and those $100 emergency savings challenges people brag about online? Cute, until your car sneezes and the mechanic charges $400 just to open the hood. Everyone loves to throw around that old Dave Ramsey line. Live like no one else so later you can live like no one else? Cool. But at this rate, by the time later arrives, I'll be 97, my knees will be made of titanium, and I'll finally have enough money for that one vacation to Florida they told me to save for. Here's the truth no one likes to admit. Saving money only works if money itself still works. Right now, everything's a subscription. Groceries, subscription. Transportation, subscription. Therapy for the stress of working to afford your subscriptions? You guessed it, subscription. We were told to cut back on luxuries. But what isn't a luxury these days? Having air conditioning? Using eggs? Breathing in a room where the rent isn't 4 figures? It's not that people don't want to save, it's that the system doesn't let you. The game's rigged, but the rulebook still says, try harder. Let's talk psychology for a second. Saving used to feel good, it gave you control. You'd stash a few bucks and think, I'm building my future. Now, you save $500 and suddenly eggs jump 30%, rent jumps $200, and your future buys you half a month of peace. Toxic optimism, that's what it is. They spoon-fed us an idea that savings equals security. But in 2026, security doesn't come from your savings account. It comes from having options, flexibility, skills, a way to generate value, not just stack cash that loses value while you sleep. And don't get me wrong, financial literacy is great, but what most people call financial literacy is basically learn to emotionally cope with being underpaid. That isn't literacy, that's survival. Every guru says, invest, not spend. Okay, but you need money to invest, Janet. When my rent takes half, bills take the other half, and my treat myself fund consists of 1 Taco Bell order a month, there's not exactly capital left for the S&P 500. And even when people do save, where does the money go? Savings accounts that give you 0.01% interest. You could literally find a quarter on the ground and outperform the bank in 4 years. It's not that people are financially stupid, it's that the environment changed. Saving made sense in an era of stability. Now, stability is the luxury item we can't afford. You can't just save your way into wealth, because by the time you hit your target, the world's moved the goalpost. You're playing a game that unlocks new levels of debt faster than you can collect your rewards. You ever notice how corporate America low-key loves the idea of saving? Save money, live better, save your future. Save now, shop with us later. It's marketing genius. They basically said, let's convince people to delay joy forever, then sell them discount happiness when they finally break down. Saving doesn't build freedom, not anymore. It builds guilt. You skip the coffee, skip the trip, skip dinner out, and still feel broke. Congratulations, you've achieved miserable discipline. The irony? The people preaching savings the loudest usually aren't saving. They're investing, leveraging, making their money work. Meanwhile, the rest of us are sitting on our $300 savings account, guarding it like it's the nuclear codes. Spoiler, the bank isn't impressed. Here's a radical idea. Stop saving out of fear and start spending with intention. You don't need to buy dumb stuff, but you do need to invest in yourself. The course that improves your income, the certification that gets you promoted, the podcast mic that lets your side hustle actually sound professional. You know what builds wealth faster than saving? Momentum. Think of it like this. Saving is like putting water in a bucket with holes. Important, but temporary. Building skills is like designing the plumbing. It keeps flowing, so don't store your energy. Redirect it. The save, save, save crowd loves to say, but what about emergencies? And sure, have a cushion, have a plan. But there's a difference between safety and stagnation. The moment your savings become a cage, you're not saving, you're hiding. Let's be honest, most people don't need a savings plan. They need a don't lose yourself to financial anxiety plan. Because the stress of constantly worrying about your balance eats away more happiness than any purchase ever could. Money's weird that way. The people who fear spending end up never enjoying what they've earned. The people who fear saving end up broke. Somewhere between both extremes is the sweet spot. Not cheap, not reckless, just aware. That's what don't save money really means. Stop hoarding resources out of panic and start using them deliberately. So yeah, don't save money, not the way we were taught. Save purposefully, not fearfully. Because the real goal isn't a fat bank account. It's a life that actually feels worth it. If you made it all the way here, you're officially exempt from the next finance influencer who tries to sell you a $400 course on how to budget your $300 paycheck. You're free now. Thanks for hanging out till the end. Seriously, that means more than you know. If you enjoyed this mix of chaos and financial truth, go check out my earlier videos. They're just as disrespectful towards societal norms, maybe even worse. And don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell me in the comments what rule of life you want me to destroy next. Until next time, don't save money. Live smarter than the system that told you to.